Hello everyone, my name is Stan and today I'm going to show you how to create grass in 3D Max. And for that you're going to need obviously 3D Max, Vray, and also you're going to need GroundWiz plugin. I'm going to show you two ways of doing that. First way is like very simple and quick way, and the second one is more complex, but you'll be getting a more realistic result. So let's get started. So first thing, let's set up our scene, and let's create plane and make it 1 square meter. We don't need segments, and let's center it. Next thing, we're gonna need some camera to do rendering, and let's also get this centered, something like so. Oops. And same here. And another thing we're gonna need is lighting. So we're gonna use V-Ray Sun and say yes. We do want to use V-Ray Sky for ambient lighting. And in here, oops, let's get rid of this. And something like that. Let's have a look. Maybe do it like so. Yeah, that looks cool. And in here, let's also get this a bit higher. Also, let's zoom our camera, and this should be cool. And let's have a look at our settings, and I want to render it something like so. Single frame, everything's okay. You do want to use V-Ray frame buffer for this, and also make sure that default lights and hidden lights switched off. And we're gonna use adaptive DMC, V-Ray box, and everything in here is okay. Yeah, also make sure you have HSV exponential and your gamma is 2.2 and all this stuff is ticked. And in here, make sure your GI is on, and as we're gonna do like quick test renders, it means that we'll be just using irradiance map with a very low settings, and there it is. And one more thing, in here set your memory. Like I have 6 gigs, so that's what I put in there, 6,000 megabytes. And also you may choose default geometry as a static, and the difference between these two is static renders slightly faster than dynamic, but if you're rendering, if 3D Max crashes during rendering, try putting dynamic as it's more stable than static. So yeah, and hit render, and we get really nothing, just a ground plane, nothing special in here. And one sec. So let's get a texture, grass. Oops. Let's get a bump map. And I'm gonna include these maps with a tutorial, so you should be fine using those. And for our plane, we also want to set up UVW map. And for tiling, let's do something like 4 times 4, and it looks okay. And next thing, you want to use V-Ray displacement map. Displacement mode. Sorry. In here, you also want to make sure you use 2D mapping, as we are using like a flat surface. And yes, for flat surfaces, you're gonna want to use 2D mapping. If you were using, let's say, like a box, then you would have to choose 3D mapping. Well, in our case, we're going to use 2D mapping. In here, you want to put your displacement map, and amount is like height of our grass. We're going to put 3 centimeters, and let's hit render. And for some reason, it looks not really the way I wanted it to look. Maybe. Let's check one thing. I'll pause in here. So I'm back, and the problem was that in UVW mapping, I've gone back and set it back to 1:1, but in our tiling in here, it's 4:4. So yeah, that's what you have. And let's render. And you see it looks better now. But still, we're gonna make it look even better than it looks right now. But I'll have to pause the video, and we'll continue in the second part. So yeah.